Do you know what today is? Recycling Day. Actually, every day is Recycling Day at Staples. Join the free Tech Take Back and earn $10 back in rewards when you recycle tech in-store. So plan your next trip soon and bring us your old tech, big and small. We'll recycle it, you'll feel rewarded, and get rewarded. $10 back in rewards offer limited to once per customer per calendar month. Exclusions apply. Redeemable in-store only. Valid April 16, 2023 through June 3, 2023. Visit staples.com/recycling for details.
This is Optimal Startup Daily, episode 934, When Fear is Stopping You from Pursuing Meaningful Work, by Babauta of ZenHabits.net. And I'm Dan, I'm your personal narrator, and welcome back to OSD, where today we're going to hear from an author who's contributed across more than just this show. He's been on a number of other podcasts in our network as well, and that is Leo Babauta. So I'm going to keep this intro nice and short and get right to the wisdom from Leo as we optimize your life. When Fear is Stopping You from Pursuing Meaningful Work, by Leo Babauta of ZenHabits.net. I was having a discussion with a friend recently who is holding himself back from doing the purposeful work he thinks he wants to pursue. So what's holding him back? Well, fear of putting himself out there in public, fear of failure, fear of being judged, fear of choosing the wrong path, and fear of not being good enough. Do any of these fears sound familiar? They're very common and hold a lot of people back from pushing themselves into the discomfort and uncertainty of meaningful work. These fears cause us to procrastinate, distract ourselves, comfort ourselves with food and social media and shopping and games, avoid even thinking about it, and beat ourselves up for not doing anything. If we could deal with these fears, we'd be rock stars. I'd like to share a few techniques that will help if you put them into practice. Exposure therapy. Don't start at the Super Bowl. Most people make the mistake of imagining themselves at the scariest part of the journey of their meaningful work. Speaking in front of a huge crowd if you want to do public presentations, having an audience of hundreds of thousands of people if you want to write a blog or do a podcast, managing a huge team if you want to run a nonprofit organization. But that's like wanting to be a football player and starting at the Super Bowl. You're not ready for that kind of pressure. Instead, start with youth football, high school football, and then college football before even considering the big leagues. If you're an author, this means just write one blog post. No one will read it at first, so there's no pressure. Then write another. If you want to do public speaking, just speak in front of a few friends, then a group of 10 people, one small step at a time, and you'll get more and more prepared as you do each step. This is known as exposure therapy, exposing you gradually to the thing you fear, starting with the least scary version of it. It is quite effective, and you can use it by structuring your progress gradually, starting very small. Allow yourself to feel the fear. This is where we bring in mindfulness. When you're feeling fear, instead of turning away from it or trying to escape or avoid it, try turning towards it. Actually allow yourself to feel the fear. We often don't want to feel it, but we have a greater capacity to feel fear than we give ourselves credit for. Try it. Notice how the fear feels in your body. Not your story about it, but the actual physical sensations of the fear in your body. Allow yourself to stay with it, to be with it, to tell yourself that it's okay. Be friendly towards yourself and towards the feeling of fear. Gentle, curious, open. You will transform your relationship with it even if it doesn't go away. In fact, you'll start to realize that you don't need to get rid of the fear. You don't need to do anything about it. It's not a problem, it's just a feeling, just an experience, just a part of the meaningful work you want to do. Practice dropping your ego. Fear comes up because we have a story about what might happen to us. For example, if I try to write this book or start this business, I'll fail. People will judge me because I'm not good enough. The last part might not be vocalized, but it is underlying the story. This is natural, and it's good to notice what our story is, to become more aware of it, and then to start to see its power over us. Once we become more aware of the story, we can practice dropping it, and dropping the ego, or self-centeredness, that is at the center of the story. How? By dropping into the present moment, becoming aware of the sensations of the body, the breath, the fear, and everything that surrounds you. Dropping into the present moment, becoming fully immersed in what is happening right now, our ego drops away. The story about what might happen drops away. We can't think about both at the same time, so the story will come back, along with our self-concern, and then we practice dropping everything again and being present. Arise and drop, over and over, until we get good at letting go and being here. Being in the present, we can do the work, take the next step, not worry about ourselves, but instead take action for the sake of the people we most deeply want to serve. Open, open, open to joy. So we're taking small steps, exposing ourselves gradually to the fear. We're feeling the fear. We're dropping the ego and stepping into the present. Now, from this place, we can practice opening. What is practicing opening like? Imagine that you have to do the hard work to get your meaningful project started. You feel the fear and resistance. You stay present with it, but open to the action of the task in front of you. You become fully present with the task, opening your mind and heart to it. You start to fully appreciate the beauty and joy of the task, opening yourself to this incredible experience, which might include discomfort, uncertainty, fear, and resistance. All of it. It's all mixed in with the joy and gratitude you feel for being here, now, with this task, doing it for people you care about. It's fantastic, and you have the privilege of being able to do it. You just listened to the post titled, "When Fear is Stopping You from Pursuing Meaningful Work" by Babauta of ZenHabits.net. The thing about running your own business is every single hire counts, and no hiring partner understands that like Indeed. Indeed is the hiring platform helping over 3 million businesses worldwide to do it all. Don't spend hours on multiple job sites looking for candidates. Over 80% of Indeed employers find quality candidates the moment they sponsor a job, thanks to Indeed's suite of powerful hiring tools like Indeed Instant Match, assessments, and virtual interviews. I especially love Indeed's Instant Match feature because candidates you invite to apply through Instant Match are 3 times more likely to apply for your job than candidates who only see it in search, according to US Indeed data. Indeed knows when you're growing your own business, you have to make every dollar count. That's why with Indeed, you only pay for quality applications that match your must-have job requirements. Visit Indeed.com/startup to start hiring now. Just go to Indeed.com/startup. Indeed.com/startup. Terms and conditions apply. Cost per application pricing not available for everyone. Need to hire? You need Indeed. The tech industry is having a rough season. Especially for startups compared to prior years, fundraising is increasingly hard and every dollar counts. Enter our sponsor, Notion. Notion helps startups, including us here at the Optimal Living Daily Network, save money by consolidating multiple tools you'd otherwise use for documentation, collaboration, and project management. Because of this, Notion can be a central hub for your teams to do the majority of their work. Whatever project is on your plate, Notion AI lets you skip to the good part. Save time and write faster by letting Notion AI handle the brainstorm and first draft, or turn your messy notes into something polished. Notion is now offering eligible startups up to 6 months free for their Plus plan, plus unlimited AI for that 6 months through the Notion for Startups program. Apply for your startup's free Plus access today at notion.com/OSD. And when you use our link, you're supporting our show. Start saving your startup some money and apply for Notion for Startups today at notion.com/OSD. And when you use our link, you're supporting our show. And a big thank you to Leo for letting us share another piece of his work. He is a great guy with a really unique story. He was an overweight smoker and eventually became a vegan, lost 65 pounds, and became a marathon runner and business owner, all while raising 6 kids. He's originally from Guam, but moved to San Francisco in 2010, and you can see him featured in the Netflix documentary Minimalism, which is a topic that he talks about regularly on his blog. So for a lot more, come by ZenHabits.net, and again, thanks so much to Leo for letting us share his work these past few years. And with that, we've reached the end of another post, so thanks again for being here, and I will see you back here tomorrow for more great content on entrepreneurship, and that's where your optimal life awaits.